thinks. Just to show you the scope of how bad TNA is. And look, I'm not even saying this and bragging. I'm just saying it to prove a point. There is a ton of creative ideas that we have said on this show that TNA should do that they have done. They just haven't done it as good as we wanted them to do it, but there's a lot of things that we said TNA should do that they did. And we criticize TNA a lot because TNA has a lot of flaws. We've said it over and over again. Instead of taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back, they're taking 1 step forward, 2 steps back. And they keep doing this over and over again and over and over again. And, I'm telling you, I know this is sad to say, but I'm going to be, people have asked this question for the last 5 years. I think for the first time, I'm going to actually answer it. People always say, how long do you think TNA will last? Think TNA will last for a while? Think TNA will last for a while? Yeah, the leader knows exactly what I'm getting to. Oh, I love my listeners. They're so smart. I mean, really. I'm dead serious with that. I will say this now. If TNA stays on the path that they are, they will be dead and buried in about 5 years. And the reason being is because they're still not making a good profit. Midway, someone in the chat room clarify this for me because I would really love to make fun of this point, but I want to be right. Did Midway file bankruptcy, or did they just lay off a shitload of people because they're having serious money problems? I don't know if they filed bankruptcy, but Midway definitely just lost a ton of revenue. I think they might even be closing up certain shops. I know that there's websites saying that the second TNA video game is on the fritz right now because Midway is having a huge financial problem right now. Now, you think of all of that, and we've said it for 2 years now. TNA's video game was a very important part of their future because they needed to make a lot of money from that video game. Those video games, because when you think of WWE selling millions of copies, and you think of the money that they make off of it, I mean, I don't know how much they make, but it's got to be tens of millions of dollars. So TNA needed their video game to have great sales. MySpace Celebrity says that they did file for bankruptcy. So right now Midway is fucked. I'll always remember Midway for Defender, but Midway is fucked right now. And that's the creator of the game. Now, because their video game sales were nowhere near what they thought it was going to be, even though they'll tell you that it was, now Midway's in financial problems. So the chances of TNA doing another video game at Midway are slim to none. Now, we constantly criticize TNA because we want their product to get better. There's nothing I would want more in this world is to be able to watch their product and enjoy it. I would love to sit back and brag that we came up with certain storylines for them, and it actually ended up happening, and they were good storylines. But the point is, Lance Storm on his website today put up a whole bunch of Q&A, and Lance Storm said, and trust me, Lance Storm ain't doing a Jason Powell and assuming. I'm sure he's got people directly, friends that are directly in TNA right now. He said, TNA does not think they're doing anything wrong. And Lance Storm says that that's TNA's biggest problem. They do not think they're doing a bad job. That's dangerous, people. That's dangerous. So the point is, I want someone in the chat room, pick someone from WWE right now that is the lowest of the low on their roster. You cannot include Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I'm talking about somebody that hasn't been around all that long. It's just the lowest of the low on their roster. Let's see what people come up with. Now, there's a little delay for the people that listen on the archive. For some reason, on a live show, it's like a 10-second delay. So when I say something right away, it takes like 10 seconds for them to hear it. But come up with someone that's the lowest of the low on the WWE roster. Not D'Lo Brown. D'Lo Brown's just not being used. I'm talking about someone that doesn't have it, never had it, don't know why he's there. We can't use Snitsky anymore because he's gone. You want to use Paul Burchill? Brooklyn Brawl is not a regular wrestler anymore. He doesn't wrestle. I'm talking about somebody. All right, Manu. Yes, Manu. I should have thought of that. All right, Manu. We cannot stand Manu. Actually, go to wrestling-news.com. There's a poll up there about Manu that is going to be up there until December 31st. Vote if you think that, how we feel about Manu, if you feel the same way, basically. But anyway, let's use Manu. I prefer to use Manu. I want you to picture THQ, all right? I want you to picture, now, forget about Manu being a real-life person and you put him in a video game. I want you to forget about the fact that that TNA made a wrestler based on a character in a video game. Just forget all of that, okay? I just want you to picture. But no, I can't use Manu. Oh, yeah, we can use Manu. Let's use Manu. I want you to picture WWE on their website right now putting up a video clip, okay, on their website right now, and I'm going to remove this wrestler's name from TNA, and I'm going to put Manu's in there. And you'll understand the magnitude of TNA's ignorance with what they're doing right now. And you know what? Even if Dixie, Jeff, or any of these other management individuals over that company, even if they say, oh, no, it's just a minor article on their website, let me tell you something, boys and girls over at TNA management, it sticks out like a sore fucking thumb. It sticks out. It's almost as bad as when you plugged a contest on your website to give away one goddamn T-shirt. Vince McMahon gives away millions. You actually put a news article, win a T-shirt, one fucking T-shirt. But anyway, imagine WWE coming out with their SmackDown vs. Raw 2009 game. Then you go to WWE.com, and WWE.com has an article that says, the high-flying daredevil Manu steps off the video game screen, courtesy of THQ and WWE. Manu made his debut at, Royal Rumble, and has been appearing on WWE Raw since April. What is Manu's plans in WWE? Tune in Monday night to find out. The WWE THQ video game is available in all retailers. Now, when I read that, I would laugh because I'm like, you're writing an article about Manu? But then, imagine this. You go to WWE.com and imagine this.
There's a war going on right now. I'd say a war between good and evil. Not about respect, but about the spotlight.
The battle lines have been drawn, and now one question remains. Suicide, which side will you choose?
In the game, Suicide starts off as a champ, runs into some trouble, ends up as a champ. And now, TNA's bringing him to life.
Suicide, alive, and take it to the gun. What a kick! What a beautiful drop kick! I tell you what, he was tired of these guys hijacking the show. What a time to make your entrance as he takes the Bulls out in one shot.
Suicide? Are you kidding me? Coming back to the real world, huh? Coming to TNA.
It's sort of standard to take the wrestlers and put them into video game mode. But what we've done is take a video game character, Suicide, and we are turning him into a wrestler.
So I keep seeing these promos of this guy wearing a suit that covers him up from head to toe with a mask with a skull on it, and it says Suicide. Not sure what to think about that.
The guys at TNA love the name Suicide, so we ran with that, built the character around the name, fit perfectly into the story. The costume just kind of came from there, and it all worked together.
We're setting the bar pretty high for future games down the road. Just the fact that what we've done with this character is never been done before.
When the team heard Suicide was going to be brought to life, they were so excited. I mean, imagine being the artist that created the character. You just created a TV star.
And hopefully game after game after game, this guy's going to continue to be a president.
Suicide, are you a man who talks, or are you a man who fights?
I would say it's in the best interest of your future to side with Frontline. The choice is yours.
You know what I'm saying, big man? Are you kidding me? Suicide? Oh, boy. Yeah, come to TNA and see what happens. You the one's going to get the DOA.
Now, imagine fucking John Cena and Jeff Hardy and Batista and Triple H saying, Manu, are you all talk? Are you going to fight? And then have THQ. They're talking about suicide like he's one of their main eventers. Are you going to join the front line? The fucking guy, Frankie Kazarian, got injured twice.